What is the importance of being here? Why are we all here? Well, we're here to learn. Learn what? How to communicate. Communicate to what? Inside. Inside what? Letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. We're all communicate to its positional keys, line connections. So, what I want to do today is based on everything that you already know, which you don't know already, in positional locations that are coming into your memories. To understand your memory is to understand everything of the meaning of life. Okay? Meaning of life is all based on you. It's given to you like conditions of perception, how you see numbers. 4444, 7777, 2222, how you see a clocking system, how you see calculation, how you see perception, how you see lights, how you see signatures, how you see intelligence, how you see colors, how you see anything through structure, right? How you see anything through all levels of an object, how you see things through things, places, locations. All levels of you is vibration inside. Okay. Now the correlation interference locations. We're going to be traveling to the heat line center in communications. It's in the other solar systems of Pluto. We're going to sector line center interference. Okay. I'm going to put you guys into a meteor shower. This is going to communicate high locations, calculations, and put you in a higher vibration to its communication system. You have to learn how to cool yourself down in a rotation system. But first things first, I really want to get into platitude division locations and calculations. So it's basically understanding number sequence. Let's go into that calculation. All right. In that formation locations. Now, when I give you something, you understand what it is when you're looking at something through perception. You have to identify everything that you see is all levels of yin and yang. Everything is balanced, but the only way to do that is to communicate it through vibration, or you won't understand anything that line connections. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put numbers up. Okay. All right. In calculations, 1 to 9. All right. What is not in position? What is missing through equation? Everything's in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything's in order, but what is missing through equation? Let's start there. What is missing through equation? Anybody? 0. What is missing? Can you travel through any of these numbers? To simplify things, is true understanding what is missing location is equal line center locations of 10. You need 10. You have a 10 line center, you can travel right location and position, but you need 10. You can't travel without 10. So it's correlation line connections. If you go 1, 2, 3, can you travel through that? No. Equal line center location is all levels of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what's missing. You need a complete system. So everything is in chronological order, but there's a number missing. It's a 2-digit frame line center. That equal line center interference location and directions. All right. So basic understanding line connections of numbers. All right. Digital frame to its location. What is this in position locations? Remember, everything that you draw is you. Every time. To simplify things, to make it easier formation to its format location, is truly understanding lines. All right. So where are you in its equation? What is this? What is it? Where are you in equation? Where are you in equation? Here. In position of directions. Okay. Where are you in equation? You're here. That's you. Now, where's the measure? Here. Where's the scale? Right? Where is the scale? If that is you, it's already traveled. So the scale is here, right? This is the scale. This is the scale of you. All right. So that's the balancing position locations. Now, trying to understand, let's say all of a sudden you got pancakes. All right. Pancakes on one side, you got pancakes on the other side. One is positive, one is negative. So what happens when somebody comes along and puts a pancake on the positive, puts another pancake on the positive? What's it doing? It's bringing it down. So what happens is that the person has to put a negative position of a pancake on the other side to balance it out. That's how you balance out their equilibrium of you through your thoughts. It's all levels of travel. Okay? You don't want to have too much pancakes on one side because you're going to tip the boat. So you got to balance out the positive and negative to its indigent location, right? It has its harmonics of its resistance. So it's Trinity standing that calculation line conditions. All right. Now in formation, what if we come across this location? What does this mean? Let's start off with that. What is that? What does that mean? What does 444 mean? What does it mean? Right? I'm going to show you exactly what it means and why it's so important to understand these things. So in position locations, 4 line center, okay, is all levels of you, right? Through baby, child, teenager, adult. 4, right? Okay, that is your birth chart. Birth equals chart. That is you through calculations. 4 line signal is its balance. Now in position locations, all level line center, if 1 line center is a 3 line center interference, there's something that has to be worked out. It has to go back up to 4 because a 4 is a portal in position of balance location to the galaxy line that positions its direction location of its scale. So in calculations, something has to be worked out. So in that calculation, 4 line center is position locations of north, west, south, and east. 4, north, west, east, and south. Your position locations to your clocking system of your compass, right? So if your compass is off and it's a 3 line center, that's position to what? That needs to be fixed. Your sun is out of position. What's 3? The sun. Calculation line connections. All right. So as long as everything's in sequence patterns of 4, 4, 4, 4, you have no problem. So if you're getting 4 numbers in high center locations in your car, you're seeing numbers in perception locations or anything through signs, if it's a balanced position, you're fine. But anything that's a low line connection, it's telling you need to fix on your inner child, your soul, your avatar, your baby, child, teenager, adult. You have to work on these things. So if it's 3, 4, 4, 4, you have to work on what? The position locations of the sun, which is its direction. 3, 6, and 9 is always an equation of number sequence. So anything out of system location, you're off channeling. Getting back in position locations, 5, 5, 5, 5, balance, 6, 6, 6, 6, balance, 7, 7, 7, 7, balance, 8, 8, 8, 8, telecommunication of balance, of telepathy, of telegraphing system. So it's important to understand all levels of you through digital frame. Okay. So after that line center locations, you come into your weathers, right? Summer, spring, winter, fall, 4, right? Those are your position, your weather patterns. Okay. Now, weather patterns in position locations of its directions. So you got 4 weather patterns. If one is a 3 or a 2, you got position locations off calculation. You're not in a correlation of a color. You got to change positions back and track location. Now, in position, all levels, another 4 line center in calculations, you circle all position location of directions, right? That's your tunnel. The high line center position is all levels. The other 4 location is your atmospheres. Atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, and bioatmosphere. Now you understand the communications of 4, 4, 4, 4. Everything has to be balanced. If it's not balanced, if it's opposition, either you have to work on your inner child, your calculations to your teenager, or yourself as adult location. Everything that you get through perception is all levels of you in digital framing. Okay, so that's important you understand. If your position location is 4, 4, 4, 1, you got 3 line centers of balance, right? With position location, your child, line center interference, all levels of 4 is in sequence. All levels of 4 position location of your atmosphere is in sequence. Okay, so this is the calculations. If you're in 1, what do you have to work on? You're in the atmosphere. So you got to bring your communications to your telepathy of your clocking back up to 1 equals 4. Yes. Now you got balance back in position locations of 4, 4, 4, 4. So now you understand the importance of numbers. okay, and how it works. All right. So it's opposition location of directions. I'm just showing you how powerful it is, why it's all connected to the meaning of life. You have to learn how to balance these things out when you come into number sequence. So anything's off through calculation. Let's go through a telephone number. 7-digit line. Okay. 7 equals digit line. Okay. 7 digit. I don't have to put the 7 numbers. But in position location, what is missing in that equation? This cannot travel, even though it's a 7-digit. What is missing? The bracket high center location to its area code. Yes. Now you can travel because you have the area code of the location to its dimension. 7-digit location to its bracket system. So to communicate with somebody on a telephone, you need the area code, right? Or you can't travel. You can't travel, right? It's the same thing if you don't understand your 7 chakra system. Okay? You have to understand these things. It's already set up through its hologram of 12 DNA. Your 12 strands is already set up. So the one thing you master is all levels of 7. Okay? You have to master these things first, is one by one. Each chakra system is a representation to you through your GODs, your geometric operation of direction locations to its division. Okay? So it's important you understand how to use numbers in sequence. And this is what you need to balance. So if you're in a 3, 2, 2, 1, you have to know what you have to fix. To bring 3 into equal line center, position location into 4, bring 2 back into 4, bring 2 back into 4, bring 1 back into 4. There's the portal. There's the travel. So when you're given numbers in any way and form, every time you see numbers, that's what you need to do. You have to balance everything in position location of meaning of life. This is all levels of yin and yang. That's the process of its communication. Now, coming into shape line center interference, it's all levels of triangulation. You get 3 point center locations, all right? 3 line centers. Now, if you want to communicate location, triangulation, there you go. Now you're communicating. You got top leg interference, leg connection, all levels, alpha communication, delta line center, and position of beta. But you're communicating, right? Everybody's at a different DNA line center location of sonar. So it's amazing how you come into that calculation of system. Let's say you go through shape lines. So you go through triangle equals box, okay, equals Y factor line connections to its position. Calculation high strand interference is its system to its calculation, all levels of its system. All right. So in modification line connections, you have to truly understand how to use all levels of vibration to its alphabetical system of its digital line center. Graph interference location to its calculation. It's complicated, right? But now you understand the importance why you have to balance out 4, 4, 4, 4, because it's all related to you of meaning of life. You're all connected to everything through communication. It's very powerful when you have to understand what you need to work on. Baby, child, teenager, adult. Those are 4 right there. So if you got one line center, this offline position, you got to bring it back to calculation. Okay? Or anything through the child, bring it back in calculation. And the teenager, bring it back in calculation. Or the adult, bring it back in calculation. 4 line centers, 5 in with system, 6 within activation, 7 within core. Now you're balanced in your chakra system of communication, right? Because now you're balancing 4, 4, 4, 4. Do you understand the importance? It's the same thing with 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, your travel position location acceleration of 144, clocking system equals location of 24. So one position line center, 140 miles per second line center location equals 24. 24 is the calculation that you end up in position location of its directions. So you're signaling down in calculations to a 3-dimensional line connection. See how that works? Now, the 777 is in balance location, which is in the cosmos. In calculation, if it's in 6 line center in rotations, you got a fixed line center location in the atmosphere and bring it back up to 7, right? Because you're caught in between the stratosphere line. You have to be in the bio connection to connect to the cosmos line channel. That opens up orbits, communication, and geometry, interference, location, line connection, position of time. That opens all your communication, time factor, time calculation, time box, time evaluation to its calculation. Complicated, right? But it's a lot of fun once you understand the meaning of life of 7777. So now you understand all levels of the equation, right? So let's get in position locations, the levels into symbols. All right, so you got a symbol here, position. That's a Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci equals square. But wait a minute. If a Fibonacci equals square, what's a square equals a Fibonacci? It's a balanced communication forward and a balanced communications back, position, location, and directions. So the Fibonacci has to be in a two-line signal in position location because it goes forward and it goes backwards. That's the rotation of a Fibonacci, forwards and backwards through thought line connection. Now you understand the equation location. Now, what's the equal line center? Equal line center location is up. Equal line center is down position locations, right? The center operation is you traveling to location to its position of its box. Communication line interference, you come into your TV reception line connection, right? So it's all levels of nothing but a frame. All right. So it's very powerful when you connect to this line. I just wanted to show you how you use your letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols of the meaning of life, how you balance these things out in all level system locations, right? If you get a T frame line center in position locations in all level system, that's in balanced line center because it's on both line center locations. So you got the left and you got the right hemisphere line connections. But in position locations, if you come into this, there's no balance. It needs the other line to communicate, right? So you have to communicate positions because it's a Y-line center to a vector communication system with flux capacitor. It needs its balanced rotation of its position location to its center and everything through its grounds. Ooh-ah. Communication line centers low levels of satellite interference at position location of its directions. Box calculation time interference line connections. 36,000 line communication of antennas, high center interference location, back in communication. 7777 is back in portal location, back in system location. Oh, wait a minute. 6 went back in line center interference. Bring communications back in interference location, on line center, but back position location of direction. So understanding all levels of you is the meaning of life. It's balancing you through yin and yang every single day on a 24 line center. Okay? Because that's what you're living, but you got to get out of the graph location of 7 days a week. It doesn't help the situation. It gets you out of the structure because you're living the same day, but different vibration locations. To understand the positive and negative of anything is to balance everything through your scale, right? It's like with the pancakes. You can't have too many positive line centers. It's going to, whoa, and then you got to balance it back out, the positive over the negative, negative over the positive, right? And then once you balance the position locations, you're going up like this, and it feels amazing, right? So the more you go faster, the more you come in position of one direction. One location, one activation, one clocking through letters, numbers, and shapes. Meditation graph location of balance. Hooah! Now, it's amazing how you communicate these levels, right? So I'm going to code signal locations, travel you guys, all right, in high center. Travel to meteor, all right, meteor rotation line conditions. Travel to meteor, travel equals meteor. Now, box in position, meteor line center location, T reception line, calculation point system, and calculation of ground line center, open out communication system. Now you guys are traveling. All right, so understanding where you're traveling is already set in code because it's all in sequence, in position of directions. If you're going through the cosmos, it's 7777. But one line center, if it's offline position of 6, it's not traveling. It's got to be back in position, location, and direction because this is you. This is you. This is you. This is you. All formation locations. So you got 4 line center locations of digital line centers. 4 equals 7. That's you in position of travel. So that's 4 communications equals line center in position location, all levels of its atmosphere system. Atmosphere system location to calculation to its biosystem. All right. So this is the true understanding of how you use numbers in digital frame line system. Now you can correlate line center. You can go into triangle force line center equals 7 equals box. Okay. Into flux capacitor. Okay. Equals weather. Okay. Equals mountain and communication of the sun. Ooh-ah. All through formula. It's easy. So it's all direct line center location of balance. So once that comes into one position location of directions, you can travel through it, through its eye circle. That's what you see, right? Through stones. That's what you see in hieroglyphics. You guys have to understand how pyramids are set. You have to understand what they are. They all levels of you because it's inside you. It's an AI map communication system, right? So you have to learn how to use it through letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols. And once you understand the formation location, it comes to you in all levels. So you got one line center, 1 to equals 12, right? Okay, so 12 to equals atmospheres. That's 12 atmosphere locations, right? 1 equals 12. That's 12 strands equals line center location to your DNA. See how that works? 1 12 line centers, 1 to equals 12 equals locations to your chakra system. Ooh. What is that? What is that all line center? What is that equivalent locations? 3 positions of the sun. Woo! Now, in that calculation string, you understand yourself more through the atmosphere, to the position locations, to its hemisphere, to its stratosphere, to its bioatmosphere. Anything above that, you're in a 5-line center position to its brainium. That means the communication system is changing inside you through teleportation, right? It's very powerful when you understand what's going on with you through all levels of codes. Codes leaning this, code activating this, stream interference, location, line connections. All right, so you got alpha channel. Alpha equals line equals channel. Now, why am I always doing equal? Position location of XT1000. Position location of XT1000. Balanced communications, right? Atmosphere line center, balanced line interference. Okay? So in equivalent location, it comes into its flux capacitor. Yes. See? See how that works? So you got to be amazed how these things are set up, because it's not just understanding the alphabetical system or anything, letters, numbers, and shapes. You have to understand how it balances you in the meaning of life. This correlates location, how you really understand the connections when you see numbers every single day through license plates or anything at position location. Everything is given to you through communication. You have to understand what it is because it's connected to you. It's all levels of you inside. It's communicating to vibration, guys, inside of you. That's the only way you're going to understand anything to that connections. Balancing communication of digital line centers, right? In that formation location. So you got 7 equals box. Very basic understanding. Box equals 7. So 7 equals box. Box equals 7. You have to understand it going forward and backwards, right? So you're an atmosphere line center, but where are you in division location of box interference? TV reception line. Now you're in calculations equal line center location of theta. That's theta, right? Anything through TV box line center interference of lacing line rotation is theta. Okay, waves of theta. Okay, delta communication is alpha, delta, bravo. So understand communication lines. Yes, delta to theta. Very good. So you get delta equals theta equals beta equals all line center locations of omega in position location equals box, back in location, T reception line, where you first started in theta communication. So it gets complicated. Complicated is good, but it simplifies everything, right? All levels of shape locations, right? So it's very important how you use this in all levels of you through equation, right? So you can go through equation location, okay, equals box. Give you a basic understanding. Equation equals box, box equals equation. You have to understand how to go forward and back, forward and back. So when you're travel line center, you're starting from where? Box equals 10. Okay, 10 equals 1, right? Blast off, right? There you go, blast off, right? Because that's a countdown, right? So in position locations equals initiate equals countdown, right? Ooh-ah, blast off, right? So you're traveling through this location of its formula, all through equation. Ooh-ah. So trying to understand the communication is all levels of you through balance, but it's very important to understand how to use yourself through all equation, right? Better understanding how to use the number sequence. Now you understand the importance. right? So if 3 is out of system and 4 has to go back in position location, what do you need to work on? The inner child, the atmospheres, your chakra system, okay? Your communication to your timelines. It all depends on what you're coming up with numbers. So if we get one line center, 2, 3, let's get 3, let's get 4, let's get 5, let's get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that's 15 chart line centers. Now, 15 chart line center is position location, how you use it through geometry. All right. Now, each letter, number, shape, and symbol, each number is a representation of you. Where are you in intelligence? Where are you in intelligence? All position location of everything. So it's sure you understand how to use 1. 1 equals line center 3. It doesn't equal 2, right? So 1 is position location, all levels of travel to all line connection. It travels to all position, okay? It's equivalent location to its calculation, right? So it's very important to understand how you use the geometry line centers. Geometry is a foundation. Geometrics is your shape, and geographical system is your connections to location. Location equal line center dimension, okay? All levels of lock communication of Y line, and position locations of vector communication equals line connections, all levels of planet system. All right? Planet system of 7, 7, 7, 7. Now you're traveling. See, because it's balanced all through equilibrium. So the balance line communication of positive line interference to its position location of its direction is open all communication, right? Because now you understand the process of yin and yang. Okay, what it is and what it means to you. Y is position locations of your flux capacitor. Y equals flux capacitor. Very basic understanding. Okay, slash grounds. Okay, equals box. Box is your location. E equals MC square. Square is the root of its position location. So that's the true understanding, how you use letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols at all levels of you to its position. Okay, it's extremely powerful when you understand these things, right? Very powerful class. So how's everybody doing? All right, Jill, how's it going? Nikki, I want you guys to understand the process and how to do these things to your own formulas and your own equations to structural locations. Linda, Pam, Lindsay, Terry, Amby, Christy, Tyler, Val, Chris, communication system location, Johnny, Michael, Airbender, David. It's great to see everybody. So I'm giving you guys a little bit more question line interference, location, and directions because you're going to be quizzed on this. Test is coming up. All right. Light stream communications and the consonants input and the sending. Oh, there you go. Heather, how's it going? All right. So in that position, Nancy, how's it going? Calculation interference, prior to division location line conditions, get you back in balance line rotation centers. All right, so what's happening now is you have to understand the most important thing is all levels of you. When you're traveling extremely fast, it's because you understand the balance of you inside through digital line. It's all communicated to position location of directions and how you use your zeros and ones in position location of calculation. How it modifies all levels of you through your vessel. The more communication, the better you understand high center line connections to its frame. Those are all levels of numbers in your binary set line. Now, your binary set line is a triangle force communication of geometry interference. It grounds its communication. It opens up its power line center to a 24 clocking system. Times pi. Times pizza. Pepperoni and cheese. All right. So in that calculation, stream interference locations, you have to understand why you're out of the 12 line center and why you're into the 24 locations. 24 equals 13, which is 1,300 hours per second. All right. So that's the true understanding why you guys need the 12 line centers of 9 line position, location, and directions. 9 equals line equals communication. 9 is what? You in position of center. Okay. Communication is position of you to all line center of vector into flux capacitor. Now, I know everybody's going, whoa, what's going on? I'm seeing so many letters and numbers and shapes and symbols. You just have to understand how to integrate its position to its locations and how you use it in all formation. You can use 12 line centers, but you're in a division location of 5. 12 equals 5. Okay. Now, that's 5 line centers, locations of atmosphere. In position location to what? After you reach high center locations, 5 indicates line center of negative line center in position of directions. Okay. So basically understanding if you want to go higher, you have to come into plus. Plus equals line condition of xt1000. Okay. xt1000 comes in position location to its high system. All right. So 12 is the indication line centers, but you need 12 line center to communicate with 12 locations, right? Which is all line center of position location into 24. 24 atmosphere line center location to its position, right? So you need 12 and 12 to communicate through your number sequence, right? So, and again, it's mostly understanding these things. Let's say we go through 3, 3, 3, 3, okay? 3 line center locations. Everything is in balance. Everything's in balance, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Atmospheres are in balance. Your chakra system is in balance. Your timeline positions of all levels of your baby, child, teenager, adult is in balance. Your weather patterns are in balance in calculation, right? All levels of this. But the line center location is the mind, the heart, and the soul. Mind, heart, and the soul. Okay, all this is in balance line center in position location, but the 3 is offline conditions, so you have to circle that. You don't circle that line center. Where is it off position location, offline center? Sun is offline position location of direction. All right, so you got to bring that back in communication into 3 line center interference, which is a separate high center location to its yin and yang. Yin and yang processes communication of its DNA, of its intelligent location, opens all communication to alliance to its vector of its satellite position location to its ground line interference location back in the balance of 3 line system into 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So in position location is travel. Back in balance. So I'm just showing you how you can basically have higher level system locations. It gets more complicated. If it's already complicated enough already as it is. So let's go back in position location at 3, 3, 3, 3. Now, everything in position location is in calculation, but the 3 is off. Why is the 3 off? Because the heart doesn't understand its position, which means you're coming into your ego. You have to circle its position location and take it out of its equation. You put it in position location, you store its information to its graph. 3 line center stays in location, right? So understand that calculations, 3 equals line center locations, all levels. In position location to its system, into engine line center location to plus, back into 3 line center rotation. Down through equation. So how are we all doing so far? You see how powerful it is when you get into all the levels of formula? It's amazing how you really, really connect to these things. The more you go high rise, the more you understand the digital line, the more you understand the plateaus, the interference locations, the more you understand the shapes, letters, and numbers in all formation locations, right? So it's all about balancing you through your thoughts. It's extremely powerful if you understand location to its equation. So everything that I bring position, let's say I do this now, line center. Now it's already set in position locations, but if I'm going to add something, it's in the future. Okay, so I'm going to add something to all line center. So the y equals line center to vector communication to its flux capacitor. Slash line connection to its grounds equals box. Now the box position location is going to go into an xt1000 line center location, into an atom line center interference location, equal location to its calculation. Modify high center locations to higher level systems calculation. Right? And now you guys are traveling through it. See, that's how you work things out. So it's all about adding things in its equation, knowing that it's already set in its division. But when you're adding something, you're more into the future. That's provision location of its own line connections, right? It's very powerful when you come to that line connection, right? So you have to understand the representation of you is all levels, all line center line connections of letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. It's how to use it to your advantage. That is the position locations of meaning of life. Balance. Powerful, isn't it? Right? Understanding what you're saying is already set in view. Precognition, right? ESP, the external online center in position, location, and directions, right? External separation of perception, not in position, location, off system. External sensory perception, balance. So it's getting your avatar in balance, or you're going to be in energy of manipulation, right? So you're not going to understand location. So if we do the same thing again, what's off position? Right? You don't understand because you're not communicating to the numbers. You're trying to understand its formation. Even though you see it's in balance, it's not in balance. 1, okay, plus 1 will never, ever equal 2. So this is how you have to go beyond the phenomenon. Stop looking at the number, sequence, location, and see this as balance. You have to understand how to communicate with each number in position to its location, all through vibration. In number, sequence, location, 3 line center, position, location is off. It's high channeling to high line center of too many atmosphere line connections. It's in 5 position. So I got an inner line center location negative into positive positions back into 3 location. Ooh-ah. Done by equation, right? Which means I'm traveling too fast. Which means that the 3, 3, 3, 3 is not in position, location, of direction. It's off system, right? And if it stays off system location, you're going to come into this equation line center, into 7 line connections. And you're really confused. And then 7 equals 8 line center interference. So you got 8 atmosphere line center interference locations. You got a position location to what? Back into what? 3, right? That indicates locations into negative, into positive position locations, back into 3 line connection. See? You see how that works? How the geometry set works, line center interference. In position, location of direction balances everything through its scale. So you got 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. What's off position? What's off position? Does it look equal? 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. What's in position, location, directions? Right? Is it in balance or is it off balance? You can't tell, can you? So in sequence pattern location, you have to understand the vibration location is 0. 0 operation, 1 in position, 0 in communication, 0 in line connection, and 1 in position to 0 in communication. All in balanced position. So this is understanding how you use the number sequence locations into your body. Now it's all levels of your Schumann resonance, which is all levels of its graph. So you go yee, yee, yee. See the different location of the graph? So you start here and you go here and you go. So you got to get back up to where you started. Line communication interference has to be balanced position, location, and directions. So you got to stay that line center of 844 where you started in his position, location, and capacity. You have to go back up to the balanced line system location, right? So, and that's all levels of Schumann resonance. But it's all levels of digital line center. You have to learn how to use the numbers, sequence, patterns, interference location, all levels of symbols, shapes, and its formation location of its energies, its vibration, its frequencies, and its harmonics. That's the only way you guys are going to understand location use calculation. That's how you balance out your scales of you in its evaluation, right? So we have a quiz and a test coming up, right? Say, Wait, I thought tests come once a month. No, 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 no. You guys are high forcing aligned centers. You got to get into higher formations, how to use their letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols in your formation and how to balance out the meaning of life. That's how you guys are going to understand location of travel. Okay? There's no thinking in position how you use your system. It's all levels of communicating. How to communicate with 7. Do you know how to communicate with 7? But is that a number? No, it's not a number. It sits through location line conditions. It's all position, location, and directions. High interference location. That's 7, what it is. That's 7. That is 7. Everything of 7 is everything of formation of mutation. It's not the number 7. It's everything. You understand? You think it's 7 because that's all you see through perception. You have to go beyond the phenomenon to see everything through its location. All right? So in that position locations, you come into 6. So you come into 67, right? But it's not a 6. The plotted division location comes at the center line center, the atom interference to the center location, position location, to its vector communication to its flux capacitor. High center location, electrical light connections, all levels, and position location directions. Now you're traveling through it. Now you're traveling through it, all through 67. So its calculation to its highline center of a number sequence location to a pattern location of geometry interference. It opens all communication to its open pattern, opens all communication to box center, telepathy interference location calculations. Highline center to pixel stream interference location of correlation. Highline center interference location line condition its moon in communication to the sun line. But this is how you guys are traveling through these things. How is it possible you're traveling through that? I must be doing something right through formula, right? Hoo-ah. Understand that communication, all levels of you. Balance of you. That's all it is. You're balancing you through vibration, energy, and frequencies every single time you get up through the harmonics. Understanding you are connected to everything. You have to balance these things out through your clockings. Right? A line signal interference. Is that a line? Is that a line? No, it's not a line. It's position locations, all levels of a diamond. But it looks like a line because that's all you see. You got to go beyond what you see. If I'm going to add something, it's going to be in the future line in calculations to its graph location, right? Coming in position location, right, to its arch. Arch position locations to all levels. Add a position location of a door. Communication line centers, you're at position location of directions, looking at the door line connection, right? Going inside position location of its high system. Correlate high center, coming out to the other line center rotation and flying direction of time location. All through imagination. Ooh-ah. So you really guys have to understand these things. How to travel through it. How am I able to do all these things? Balance. Balance is everything. Understand how to communicate with all levels of your keyboard. What is your keyboard? What is a flight navigation system? What does J mean, position location? What is K? What is L? What is O? What is P? What is R? What is D? What is Y? What is U? What is I? What does it all represent? It's all levels of you inside of its equation. That's the only way you guys are going to understand these things. And every single time you see yourself in a drawing, it's you in travel through its flux capacitor, guys. You're always in position, location of direction. You're always in the center operation. Where's the intelligence? Right here. Intelligence. So you have to understand these things. That's the only way you're going to be able to balance you through the position to its avatar connections, to yourself and to each other. But telepathy is extremely powerful to that position, location, line connections. Right? It's all levels. How you interpret your system through vibration. When you're picking up numbers, if something's off, you know exactly what you need to work on. That's how you get balance with your system of yin and yang. Everything through letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols has yin and yang. You guys have to understand that. You got to go beyond everything to its alteration location of its mind. Come into the computer adaptation of its system. Understand the hardware. Understand the software of mechanism of space and time. It's powerful when you understand more levels inside of you. Understanding the heart, you can travel through the heart through formula, and that's how it sees it through perception location. So heart position equals line center travel. Heart equals travel. Travel position location. What are you traveling through? Planet system. Done. Now you're traveling through this. You're traveling through your heart through location of teleportation to its planet. Easy, right? It doesn't have to be a formation. You don't have to go in a triangulation of force line. I'm adding something now. To fluctuation location, to its calculation, to its position, all levels of its high system. So this is the true understanding that you're all modified inside of you through triangulation, all levels of simulation. How to use your meditation, graphs, and communication to its system modifies you at all levels of transmitting and receiving information. Okay? So, sure, use our imagination in reference to cleaning, new gym, key locked, oh, gym. Yeah, but see, you can use that in shapes, letters, numbers, and symbols, little Jess. Right? That's what your avatar does. It looks at things and knows exactly how to take it. You take something and you use it as a structure to a formula, to an equation. That's how you travel through these things. It's simple, right? But it's complicated because you don't understand vibration. There's vibration of everything that you see. You just have to understand to balance it out, because everything in this room is yin and yang. You have to understand that. And the only way to do that is through memory. And the only way to understand that is to go level line connection, all position locations is going into equal line center to position location, high system, to galactic travels of the school. That's it. Galactic equals travel of school. Now you're traveling through this. Simple, easy, done. But you complicate the situation because you don't focus on your system. That's what you guys have to understand. That's how powerful you guys are in the mind system. Okay? All right, so taking you guys out of the equation, interference location line centers, shapes, letters, numbers, and symbols, applied division locations, bringing you guys back in height line center of 4444. Position, location, directions. You guys are back. I did that all through equation and digital format. I'm doing this, but now learning the equation of it. So powerful. Yes, it is. Exactly the communication on levels. If you're trying to understand anything through space and time, is to understand the communications of energy, vibration, frequencies, and harmonics. That's the only way you're going to understand anything through that equation. All right? Now, we have a quiz and a test coming up. All right? So, I really want you guys to get in your formulas. When you're seeing structures on a pyramid, you have to understand that's a representation of you when you see it through perception. I bet you guys didn't know that. That's a multipass. Any place that you go is formation of you through energy. It's a magnetic force that's taking you to where you need to go. That's an avatar system that needs to be there because it's already been there. There's equation, guys. Everything that you see, you've already been. And that's the plotted division location to its calculations. Okay? That's what you have to understand. And the physical system has to catch up through the mind. That's all it is. It's the adapting location to its equation of anything through a high system. Right? So, test and a quiz. All right? Tomorrow, we go through the ego. Whoa. You guys are going to travel through ego line center locations and know exactly why it's so important to be positive in all position. All right? Tomorrow, high center line condition interference location line directions. Adios.